the enemy did not appear until near 6 of the clock, and then they showed themselves above us, on the face of the mountain in great numbers. They came on in great haste, with hideous cries, and with such fury as if they had been resolved to bear down all before them. Our men gave them fire, and stood to it bravely for some time, but their fury and weight broke our line, especially on the left. They came running, with their targets over their heads, striking down our pikes and stabbing with their dirks underneath. It was a shocking and terrible sight to see so many fall in such little time. My own company held the right for longer, and I saw Lord Dundee riding among them in a coat of mail, urging them forward. He seemed to bear a charmed life until, as I saw with mine own eyes, he staggered in the saddle and was pulled down by one of his men. Soon after, their advance faltered, but by then the centre and left had collapsed. The Cameronians stood their ground, but were nearly surrounded. I gathered what men I could and made a retreat toward the pass. The Highlanders did not pursue far, being more concerned with plundering the dead. Many of our officers were slain, and I cannot express the loss we have suffered. It is said we have lost near 2,000 men. The Highlanders, though victorious, have lost their general, and it may prove their undoing.
We lay encamped near the Pass of Killiecrankie when word came that Claverhouse and his Highland rabble were descending upon us. General Mackay took post upon a plain below the rising ground, believing that we could receive them orderly with our firelocks and pikes, but I feared their fury would not be so easily checked. They descended upon us with infernal screeching, barefooted, half-naked, brandishing their swords and targets. They came on like devils, caring neither for shot nor pike point, and their speed made our volleys ill-aimed. They did not fire, but ran into our lines headlong, striking low beneath our pikes and hacking with broadsword and dirk. I saw Colonel Balfour of Burleigh fall to a Highland blade. Men who had served in Flanders fled in disorder. Our left crumbled. The Cameronians, by God's grace, stood firm upon the right. I myself took a pike from a fallen man and thrust a Highlander through, but another took his place in a heartbeat. The enemy fought like wolves. Our powder was near spent, and I gave the order to withdraw in file toward the pass. It was not a rout on our part, but an ordered retreat. God preserved me. I know not how. General Mackay escaped with but a handful. What became of most, I dare not say. The glen was strewn with bodies when the sun set. We hear that Claverhouse is dead, struck in the side by a musket ball. If so, it is Providence itself that hath avenged the slaughter. The Highlanders have won the field, but not the war. Our cause shall not fall with a single battle.
When I was but 16 years of age, I ran away from my father and went off with the Highlandmen to the Battle of Killiecrankie, where we gave the English a clear proof of Highland fury. I was then a raw lad and never saw men fall before. My captain told me to stand firm and follow his steps. I had a target and a broadsword given me, and when the order came, we rushed down the hill like deer upon the wing. Our pipes skirled, and our men gave a great shout that echoed through the glen. The red soldiers stood below in their fine lines, thinking, no doubt, that they'd beat us back with shot. But we came so fast that most of their powder was spent before we were upon them. I saw a ball strike my kinsman in the breast, and he fell dead beside me. I leapt over him, my blood rising. When we reached them, there was a wild madness. I saw one of our men bring down two with a single swing. I swung my own sword. I know not if I struck a man or air. We broke their line, and they fled, many casting down their arms. Their officers tried to rally them, but it was no use. I took a fine musket from one that lay dying, and a sword of good steel. But our victory came at a cost. The great Dundee was struck and fell. Word passed among us like fire, and our joy turned to mourning. We had won, aye, but lost our best man. There was grief on every face that night as we gathered to rest among the fallen.
We lay in the braes above the pass 2 nights, watching the movements of Mackay's army. My Lord Dundee rode among us daily, urging patience. "Wait till they are in the neck of the glen," he said, "and then we strike like thunder." On the 27th, they marched into the pass. The hour had come. The sun was low when we formed line. Our men were eager, barefoot, half-fed, but fierce and true. I stood on the right, near the Camerons. When Dundee raised his arm, the pipes began their music, and we charged down the slope, yelling like the banshees of old. The enemy opened fire, but most shots went high. We were upon them in moments. I saw their left give way first. Our lads crashed into them, swords and dirks flashing. One government officer stood his ground with a pike. I parried it and struck him down. It was close, brutal work. I lost my bonnet and was bloodied in the face, but I pressed on. Amid the noise, I saw Dundee on horseback, his cuirass gleaming, shouting encouragement. Then came the cry. He was down. I rushed to him, but he was already carried away. A musket ball had struck him under the arm, they said. His last words were, "Victory is ours." And so it was. Mackay's men broke and fled, leaving their dead in the heather. But our own joy was bitter. The clans mourned him that night. No general ever fought with more courage, nor died more gloriously. Scotland lost a lion at Killiecrankie.